show for sports fans with opinions. It's the only show in Chicagoland offering you live one-on-one with the pros that know. This is Sports Page.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Tuesday edition of the show. I'm Peggy Kusinski. Later on, we will be playing Chrysler Plymouth Trivia. It's also another installment of Peggy's Book Giveaway. You tell me your favorite sport, I'll check my bag of books, and one will be yours for free. Of course, we'll also hear more special moments from the Reinsdorf Roast Monday night. All that coming your way with open phones in just a moment. But first, as always, we check today's news. And if only Don King were here, you could hear him saying, "Only in America." But the message still rings loud and clear without him. Angels outfielder Tony Phillips was eligible to play against the Sox this evening. His Anaheim management telling the press that despite a felony arrest on cocaine charges, the leadoff man was eligible to play. But the image-conscious Disney company, which owns the Angels, hasn't really done anything except release a statement. Manager Terry Collins decided then to take Phillips out of the lineup until he meets with Major League Baseball doctors and the Players Association. The change of mind isn't because Disney characters don't get caught with a cocaine pipe in one hand and a lighter in the other. Instead, the Angels manager says Phillips isn't playing because, quote, he has to take a deep breath and get ready to hit. As for the felony drug charges, astonishingly, the manager likened it to a player getting in a surfing accident. Are you kidding? Accused of smoking cocaine and surfing? Give me a break. How about a dose of reality? That brings us to our CLTV viewer poll question this evening. Although he has not been convicted, should Tony Phillips be allowed to play? Simple question. Maybe not. In this world of athletes as role models, the Anaheim police chief said Phillips was arrested with a cocaine pipe in one hand and a lit match in the other. But the man is allowed to make a living, isn't he? Well, those are the arguments. You make the call, and whether or not you agree or disagree that he should be in the lineup. The numbers on your screen, you can call until the end of the Sports Page with your opinions. We add them up and pass them along to you at the end of the show. As for the game at Kusinski, it's an important one for both teams involved. The White Sox are just 3 games behind Cleveland, while third-place Milwaukee is just 1/2 game behind the Southsiders. If that race isn't tight enough in the American League Central, their opponents tonight are also locked in a first-place tie out west with the Mariners. Big games for everybody involved. To Kusinski Park we go, where Tony Phillips was actually hugged by his former teammates. He'll stay on the bench for now, though. Albert Bell had gone 22 games without a home run. He takes young Jason Dixon yard. Dixon with an 11-4 record, but Bell gets his 80th RBI to give the Sox a 1-0 lead. Robin Ventura then helping Jamie Navarro hold the Angels to just 3 hits in the first 5 innings. Gets 1 out there, but Navarro gets in trouble with 2 out in the 6th. Garrett Anderson doubles to left field. It's his second 2-bagger of the game. Dave Hollins and Tim Salmon both score. That makes it 2-1 Angels, but the White Sox get a double from Valdez in the 7th, and they have now taken a 4-2 lead. We will pass along a final to you. Now, checking out the race in the Central, Milwaukee is tied with the White Sox, depending on the outcome at Kusinski. The Brew Crew making up half a game by beating Seattle 5-3. Doug Jones picks up save number 24, while Ken Griffey Jr. goes deep for home run number 37. Seattle now drops back 1/2 game from the Angels. 2 downpours now have delayed the Tigers and Indians game. Cleveland leads at 3-2. They are stuck in the 4th inning. We'll let you know if this game continues as well. It's getting scary for the Cubs. No, not the season. That was over after the first 14 games. Instead, the Cubs are dangerously close to their record of 100 losses in a season. With 72 losses, the Cubs send newly acquired pitcher Mark Clark to the mound against Hideo Nomo this evening. The Dodgers, meanwhile, also pick up Otis Nixon and a minor league trade before the game. We'll have highlights coming up after Sports Page. Well, having experience isn't enough to keep you on an NFL roster these days. Although for others, it's enough to force teams to take a second look at you. After being released by Seattle, veteran defensive tackle Mark Spindler is signed by the Bears. At 6'5", 283 pounds, Spindler is a Pitt alum along with his new coach, Dave Wanstead. He also has 8 years of experience in the NFL. The Bears could use that help on the defensive line, but the Bears thought they had some experienced wide receiver, Haywood Jeffries, as well. Instead, the 10-year veteran is the one cut to make room for Spindler. The former Saint signed out of New Orleans before camp began, played his way off the roster with an unimpressive 3 preseason games, including some very costly fumbles. After cutting Steve Young a $45 million deal, the Niners are on the verge of making Bryant Young one of the highest-paid defensive players in the NFL. USA Today reporting that the Chicago native has agreed to terms on a 6-year extension worth $24 million. Well, former Northwestern linebacker Pat Fitzgerald is cut by the Dallas Cowboys. The undrafted free agent signed with Dallas after the April draft. But when Vincent Smith was not signed by the Bears, the experienced linebacker may have taken a future job of Fitzgerald's. He was hoping to at least make the boys on special teams. While the Wildcats try to find a way to make do without Fitzgerald and Darnell Autry and the other members of the 2-time Big Ten champion Wildcats, they will have to sell the fans on the future. With a new stadium and tickets still to be sold, the Northwestern Marketing Department's education has been put to the test. From last year's Purple Wildcat fan to this.
Hey, man. Hey, you ready? You gonna be ready? You gonna be ready, Andre? We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. We are. Loose brick! Loose brick!
Northwestern football. We've built a winning tradition. Now we're rebuilding a stadium.
I got it this time.
All right, moving on. Larry Bird is reunited with his Dream Team teammate Chris Mullen. Golden State trades former Dream Teamer Mullen to the Pacers for Eric Dampier and Dwayne Farrell. Now Mullen is a 5-time All-Star, playing his entire 12-year career with the Warriors. And Timberwolves management is shocked. Kevin Garnett passes on a 6-year, $102 million guaranteed contract from the team. Instead of $17 million a year, the former Farragut star would prefer something like $22 million a season.
You know, I'm surprised, first of all, that I made such an offer. If you would have talked to me, certainly a while back or a couple of years ago when we first were talking about this, I wouldn't have never imagined myself in a position to make an offer. Then mine alone saying, you're not even in the ballpark, certainly surprising. If I'm shocked, no. I know that this is maybe part of negotiations and stuff, but quite frankly, the offer that we put forward here isn't, it is a fair offer, more than fair offer. It's a very high offer. We're a small franchise, but we are, in this case, placing out an offer to a very talented young man that we want to keep on this team, and we put out an offer that was made by L.A. to Shaq O'Neal. And obviously, O'Neal has more experience, has proven himself more, but we wanted to say right up front, we want you to stay here. Here's our offer.
$102 million. To hockey we go, where Steve Smith of the Blackhawks is expected to announce his retirement before next month's training camp. And the Avalanche have one more day to decide whether or not to match a 3-year, $21 million offer sheet on Joe Sakic by the New York Rangers. Oh, we can't let you go without that X-Sox factor update. Wilson Alvarez holds the Reds to 3 runs on 7 hits and 7 1/3 innings, along with 9 strikeouts for his first National League win. Alvarez also gets his first ever Major League hit, driving in a run, and teammate Roberto Hernandez picks up his first National League save. All right, when we come back, we've got books to give away, and look at this. It's a Yosh Kawano hat, autographed. It's a Russell Maryland Oakland Raiders cap as well. We've got books, biographies, basketball, the tennis. You make the call. I'll give you some books and other things. Maybe throw in a few Sox tickets as well. We'll be right back on The Big Show.
Before joining Schneider, most of our drivers were doing something else. They came from all walks of life, from different jobs in different places. At share their desire to be out experiencing the world, Schneider National will give you free training, the opportunity to earn $700 a week your first year, and $1,000 a week in 3 years.
For information, call today.
Chicago, we're talking about the return of the World Wrestling Federation Live. Saturday night, August 23rd to the Rosemont Horizon. And for the first time in years, it'll be Saturday night's main event. You'll see a triple threat match for the World Wrestling Federation Championship with The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and brand new WWF champion, Bret the Hitman Hart. Chicago's own Legion of Doom team up with Goldust to take on Brian Pillman, Owen Hart, and the British Bulldog. Plus, you'll see a 30-man over-the-top rope battle royal. It's Saturday night's main event.
Visit DeVry.com for information about bachelor's degrees at DeVry and master's degrees at Keller Graduate School.
Every minute of every day, news that affects our community is happening. Chicagoland's news never stops. Neither does CLTV News.
Along with our partner, the Chicago Tribune, CLTV News is proud to be Chicagoland's only source for 24-hour local news.
Award-winning news team, Chicago Tribune writers and columnists, complete community coverage. When you want us, when you need us, CLTV News never stops.
But he is a generous man. Are you aware that Jerry Reinsdorf pays all the medical expenses for Bill Wirtz and Michael McCaskey? Well, he's either really generous or he just wants to take precautions that he doesn't wake up one day the cheapest owner in town. By the way, we were going to televise this roast locally, but Bill Wirtz blocked it. I love the Blackhawks, man. You know how Fox Hockey, they put the blue dot on the puck when you're watching, makes it easier to follow the puck? You guys, you should do that for home Sox games. You know, put blue dots on each of the fans.
Harry, that just didn't go over very well, did it? Harry Tynowitz at the Reinsdorf Roast on Monday evening. Funny Money 97 raised money to benefit child abuse prevention. So it was a great cause, and they had a couple hundred people out there to hear the Bulls and the White Sox chairman get roasted, and roasted he did. All right, this is what we're doing tonight. This happens every year. I started it last year because I get so many books given to me and sent to me by authors and PR people, things like that. So if I don't read them or I got more than one copy of the book, they sit on my desk. And you know what? These people here don't need to get these books. I want you, the viewers, to get something. We don't always have something to give away, so I've got a bunch of different books here. They may be obscure to you, but to some, they may not. So speak up if you want any of them. I'll tell you what I have. I have the Green Bay Replay, the Dick Schaap latest book on the Green Bay Packers. It is awesome. I have Tim Cronin's book, Purple Roses, on Northwestern's run to the Rose Bowl. I also have this Raiders cap, courtesy of Russell Maryland from the Oakland Raiders. This Yosh Kawano autographed cap. This is what he wears in the dugout of the Cubs games. You'll see the equipment manager every day wearing that hat. Other baseball books, Jack Buck's latest book, Lou Boudreaux's book as well. Just speak up, you can have that as well. I've got one book that may sound different to you, but if you have any kids, young preteens or teenagers who are athletes, this Diaries of a Teenage Warrior by tennis player John Falbo. It's not about tennis. It's stories about being an athlete as a young teenager. It's an excellent read. One of my favorite books. I did read it. I also have Monica Seles' autobiography, Ira Burko's latest book, the New York Times columnist, called To the Hoop, and two women's USA gold medal basketball books, Venus to the Hoop. So speak up. I'll ask you if you're interested at the end of your phone calls, and hopefully we can give away all of this stuff tonight. Let's begin in Chicago. Hi, Albert.
Hello, Peggy. How you doing?
I'm doing great tonight. How are you doing?
All right. First of all, congratulations on your upcoming nuptials.
I thank you very much. Very excited about it.
I have just a couple quick questions.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you about the Bears quarterback situation and what you thought of it. And the second thing was the signing of Mark Spindler today as a defensive tackle. I know the Bears need some help up front, but it seems like they're kind of desperate and they're reaching.
Well, you know what? Guess what, though? Everybody's desperate, Albert. Everybody's looking for help on the defensive line. I don't think you need a standout guy. I don't think you need a multi-million-dollar player. I think Mark Spindler will do just fine because they need the extra bodies right now. In the Bears' defensive system, they rotate in and out enough where it doesn't matter if, you know, you're not in there that long to make too many mistakes. He's a veteran. He knows what he's supposed to do, and I think it's a good insurance policy. As for the quarterback situation, you know what? It will play itself out. Right now, they're playing pretty even with the, except for the fact that Eric Kramer knows the offense better. We don't have two sensational quarterbacks right now. We have two, one that is a good backup because he's been in the system for the last 3 years, another one that they're banking on. So I don't get too excited either way.
Okay.
Albert, what's your favorite sport?
Basketball.
Basketball. I have Ira Burko's book, the New York Times column is called To the Hoop, about growing up in Chicago and playing street basketball with some of the biggest names in basketball. And I have two books on the USA women's gold medal basketball team. You interested in either?
No. I'll tell you what I would like. You have the Monica Seles autobiography?
I do.
I'll take that.
Oh, Albert, you got it. Hang on the phone lines, and you know what we'll do? We'll have my producer will get your phone number and all the pertinent information, and I'll send that one out to you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Peggy.
Thanks, Albert. I appreciate it. One down, about, what do we have here, 30 to go? Monica Seles. You know what? Well, you know why it is. Look at the cover. I'll tell you exactly why the guys want this book. Look at this cover. Monica's looking pretty hot right there. So, you know, really can't blame the guys for wanting to grab that book. But good pick there, Albert. Let's go to Dave in Aurora. Hi, Dave.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. How about you?
Not bad.
I'm talking about this Kevin Garnett. I can't believe that he turned down this deal. It is ludicrous.
Well, the only thing I can think of is that he wants to become a free agent, that he wants to test the market and play in a different city besides Minneapolis. That's the only thing I can think of why he would turn down that kind of money. I don't believe him when he says that they want more like $20 million, you know, a year.
Also, you have to keep in mind, too, Stephen Marbury will become a free agent next year, so I don't know about them, but I hope they get him signed, and because I think Minnesota would be pretty good.
Yeah, I think so too. But again, it's the problem with free agency and these guys. We talked about it before. You come out of high school and you play just as you're getting good, just as you're starting to understand the NBA system. 3 years later, you're a free agent. It almost makes no sense for the team that drafted you to pay the big money, but they don't have a choice. They pay you all this money, and then the guy takes his free agency when he's 21 years old and goes elsewhere.
Right, and I also have something to say about the Tony Phillips thing.
Okay, Dave.
I can't believe that a regular person would go to jail for what, if we had cocaine, but if he didn't.
No, well, you know what, though? He had a lawyer and he paid bond.
Right.
And anyone else can do the same thing. It's not just because he was a baseball player.
True.
Hey, Dave, what's your favorite sport?
Football.
Football. I'll tell you, I got the Green Bay replay by Dick Schaap, and I also have Purple Roses by Tim Cronin or the Raiders cap. You interested in any of them?
How about the Raiders hat?
You know what, Dave? It's yours.
Okay.
Hang on the phone line so we can get your information. Thanks, Dave, and thanks, Albert. Look how easy this is. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll continue on the phone lines before we play trivia later on in the show. We'll be right back.
Bill Barnhart, market report columnist for the Chicago Tribune and CLTV News. He's been covering business in Chicago for over 15 years, giving you what's up and what's down with stocks and bonds, plus a closer look at local companies. Start your business day by reading Bill Barnhart's column weekdays in the Chicago Tribune, and close your business day by watching his reports in CLTV's newscast weeknights from 6:30 to 9. Bill Barnhart, the first and last word on business in Chicago.
When it comes to classic love songs, duets are always in style.
Now there's a new collection from Westwood that captures the romantic passion in all of us. It's called Duet. Just listen.
duets you've been listening to are one-time recordings, making them hard to find in record stores.
Duets features 36 classic hits, and they're as easy to own as picking up your phone. Here's more. This is the music you love.
The music you'll always cherish. There's never been a collection of love duets like this before.
And you'll never have a better opportunity to own this irresistible music treasury.
Order duets on 2 cassettes for $23.99, 2 CDs, $27.99.
To order, have your credit card ready and call the toll-free number on your screen. Or send check or money order for the amount shown plus shipping and handling. Rush delivery available. Call now.
But Jerry claims he's losing money with the team. But he will make some of it back. The new movie you're making about the Sox, Men in Red Ink. I think it has a great chance. Albert Bell didn't help. $55 million? Do you realize what that breaks out to, like, $55 million per interview? I mean, that's good work if you can get it. But the bottom line is Jerry has taken what has worked for the Bulls and tried to apply it to the Sox. I mean, you saw the attention the Bulls got last year. Will they win 70 games? Will they not win 70 games? He wanted that magic for the Sox. Will they win 70 games? Will they not win 70 games? Personally, I think the Bulls will win more games. I mean, they've got better pitchers.
Spike Manton did a pretty good job last night at the Funny Money 97 Jerry Reinsdorf roast for charity. All the proceeds went to the Child Abuse Prevention. Let's continue on the phone lines and continue with our giveaway. We've still got more books here. We've still got to have Yosh Kawano's autographed hat to give away as well. Brian in Montgomery, how are you, buddy?
Fine.
What's going on?
Nothing. How you doing?
I'm doing okay.
I would like to know, how come Fitzgerald was cut from the Cowboys?
Well, ESPN did an awesome story on him actually yesterday. It was pretty good timing considering he got cut today. And he seemed to talk a lot about how overwhelmed he was at how much faster the NFL game was, how much bigger everybody was. And you have to remember, he wasn't drafted, so he went in there as an undrafted free agent. Scouts must have seen something. He had been slowed by his knee injuries, and he realized when he got into camp that it's a much faster game than he had expected. Bring in Vincent Smith, who's a veteran, an 8-year veteran in the NFL, and that pretty much, I think, took away any chances he had.
Do you think any other team will be interested in signing him?
Well, you know what? It's all going to come down to special teams, which is usually what it comes down to. I mean, look at Dana Howard was a great linebacker at Illinois, and he's a special teams player for the Bears. So you really have to make a name for it on special teams. So what he's going to have to do is find a team that's looking for somebody who may be a fifth-string linebacker that they can plug in on special teams. Hey, Brian, are you a Northwestern fan?
No.
Oh, you're not?
I would like to know, instead of receiving a gift, could I go on the trivia quiz later?
No, you know what? We can't do that. Are you a Sox fan?
No.
Are you any kind of fan?
Instead of doing that, could you send a book to charity for me?
You know what? Of course I can. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate the phone call. What a nice guy. That was pretty cool of him. Let's go out to Wheeling, where Howard's up next. Hi, Howard.
Hi, Peggy.
What's going on tonight?
Oh, White Sox are tied 4-4 at this moment.
Thank you very much. In the 7th inning, Sox at Kusinski with Anaheim, 4-4 tie. Also, Detroit and Cleveland. Cleveland leads 3-2. They're postponed in the 4th inning, and Milwaukee beats Seattle 5-3. Thanks for that update, Howard. What else is going on?
I'd like your opinion about the realignment in baseball. The 16-14 plan. What do you think about it?
Well, you know what? Steve Rosenblum had a great point one day in his Outside the Lines column in the Tribune. It was very, very funny when he said, everyone's crying about realignment and how it's ruining the sanctity of baseball. But what about domed stadiums and artificial grass and the designated hitter? There's a lot of things that's already ruined this, purity of the sport. I'm all for it. I think if it's going to help the sport, if it's going to bring people back and make them excited about playing someone in a team that's within their geographic region, I'm all for it.
Well, I don't like it. I'd like to see the White Sox stay in the American League and the Cubs stay in the National League, and I think that they're overdoing it with the regional play. I mean, interleague play is good how it is now, and they should add the Diamondbacks in one league and Tampa Bay in the other league, and make it 15-15, and
You know, the schedules are so screwed up right now as it is, though. With going to the West Coast, they've got 2 games at a time now this year because of the difference in time zones that they're trying to accommodate in their travel schedules. Like today, Anaheim comes in for a 2-game set. I mean, it's really ridiculous. It's really hurting the teams when it comes to travel. So I just think the schedule's gotten so out of whack, and with expansion, it's getting harder and harder to put teams where they don't have to travel so much, where they're on 5- and 6-hour flights.
do they need like 21 out of the 30 votes to get it passed?
Yes, they do, but you know, they're also putting up something in front of the committee which would say it does not need to be, actually, no, I believe they need a total majority, but what they're trying to pass is something that would say all they would need is a 3/4 or 2/3.
I understand Steinbrenner's against it.
Steinbrenner's against it, so are Andy McPhail and the Cubs, but Jerry Reinsdorf and the Sox are all for it. Howard, what's your favorite sport, baseball?
Yeah, baseball, basketball.
All right, well, let me ask, are you interested in any of the books I have? I have Jack Buck's book, I have Lou Boudreaux's book, I have Yosh Kawano autographed hats.
I'll take that to the hoop.
You want the To the Hoop, the Venus? All right, you got it. Let's write this down. That's Ira Burkow. Okay, Howard from Wheeling. Hang on the phone lines, and we'll make sure that we get the information from you, and you got the book To the Hoop by Ira Burkow.
Thanks.
We appreciate the phone call. Let's continue on the phone lines. In Villa Park we go. Hi, Matthew.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good tonight, and you?
Good, thanks. The White Sox did take the lead now.
Oh, they have taken the lead.
5-4, yes. Thomas drove in Durham.
Thank you very much for that update. It's so nice of you guys to be watching 2 things at once, I hope.
It's hard to do, listening and then watching you.
Oh, okay.
When the White Sox catch Cleveland
Yeah.
and win the division, do you think this will lock Bevington into next year, or do you think there's still a chance he'll be gone?
No, I think that there is a chance he'll be gone. I think that if the Sox are honest in their comments about wanting to bring a team that people like, I think that they have to very honestly take a look at who the manager is and the fact that he's not fan-friendly as well. Now, Terry will tell me himself that he goes out and talks to the fans, but I'm just telling you what I know the image is, and they have to be very serious about that.
I think they should get rid of him.
Matthew, are you interested in any of the books we have here?
Big baseball fan.
Big baseball fan, I'll tell you what I got. I've got Lou Boudreaux's book, Jack Buck's book, and Yosh Kawano's autograph hat.
Can I get the Packer replay book?
You can get the Packer replay book.
I would like to get that.
All right, Matthew, hang on the phone lines, and we will make sure that you get that. Hey, we just got a home run from Albert Bell, his second of the game. We'll keep you updated throughout the day, but first we're going to take a break. When we come back, more of your phone calls here on Sports Page.
You can dust and dust, but you'll never get your home dust-free with these old-fashioned things. They just push the dust around. But now there's the Magna Duster, the incredible duster that works like a magnet. This extraordinary duster actually creates an electrical charge that attracts dust like a magnet. Look, you can actually see the dust as it's pulled off the surface and into the Magna Duster. Incredible! Watch again as the dust jumps off the table and into the Magna Duster. Those other dusters just can't get these shutters clean. But Magna Duster conforms to the tightest places, grabbing onto the dirt and holding it tight. Watch it work on these mini blinds, pulling the dust out of those hard-to-reach places just like a magnet. It's much faster than other methods. A table full of collectibles can be such a chore, but not anymore. The fibers actually reach out and grab the dust without disturbing a thing. Use it on all your electronics. Pull dust right off the TV. Magna Duster gets into those tight places other dusters can't go. Now you can dust your whole house in half the time. It's amazing. And the soft fibers come clean with soap and water. Try that with your feather duster. Call and get your Magna Duster today. Only $19.95 on this exclusive TV offer. But wait, you'll also get a second Magna Duster. Plus, we'll include the extended handle, perfect for those hard-to-reach places. And the Magna Duster is bendable, so you clean the top of ceiling fans or under the cabinets. There's more. You also get the mini Magna Duster, great for the car, perfect for the office. It's Magna Duster, the complete kit for the amazing price of just $19.95. It really is a dust magnet.
Call 1-800-455-5895. That's 1-800-455-5895. Order your Magna Duster kit today for only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. So have your credit card ready and call 1-800-455-5895. It really is a dust magnet. Call 1-800-455-5895.
Before we continue in our book giveaway here on Sports Page and play trivia later in the show, we're going to find out what's coming up on CLTV News. Greg Prather is standing by in the newsroom to tell us. Hi, Greg.
Hi, Peggy. Coming up on CLTV News, Labor Secretary Alexis Herman plans to speak with both sides in the UPS strike. One White House official says both the union and management need to find a way to save face. Authorities in Joliet say homicide is the official cause of death in the case of Sylvia Lopez. She had been missing since early July. And the closing arguments are over, and the jury is now weighing the evidence in the MSI bribery trial in Springfield. We'll have more on these and other stories following Sports Page. For now, I'm Greg Prather. Peggy, let's send it back to you.
Thank you, Greg. A couple of updates to give you. Albert Bell's second home run was a 2-run shot in the 7th inning. They now lead Anaheim 7-4. That's a good thing in the 7th inning because Milwaukee beat Seattle earlier today 5-3 to gain a half game and tie the Sox for second place heading into the White Sox game. They still have a half-game lead if they can hang on to this. Half game, I should say, ahead of the third-place Brewers. Cleveland, though, now leads Detroit. That game is back underway in the 7th inning, 4-2. It was postponed twice by rain. We continue with our book giveaway, and we go to Carroll Stream where Jason's up next. Hi, Jason.
Hi, how's it going?
Good.
I have a question about the Bears I wanted to ask you about.
Go ahead.
I think Rick Meyer's going to be a good quarterback down the line, but he can be a better quarterback if we establish some kind of running game. And to tell you the truth, I don't know how anyone else feels, but I wouldn't feel too good having Rashawn Slamm blocking for me if I was running. I mean, we really need to put Tony Carter in there, let him block, and let one guy run the ball. I know Wante likes to throw the ball to the running backs, but Tony Carter caught 50 passes last year, and there's no reason why he shouldn't be playing.
Jason, I'll tell you what I think. I think right now Rashawn Slamm is being showcased to be traded. And that way the Bears can get something in return as injuries mount up. Hey, and I would be so surprised, although backup quarterbacks are a big, big deal now in the NFL. I would be so surprised if they do try to make a trade with either one of the running backs or one of the quarterbacks. The reason being they are very, very thin on offensive line. You saw it today with the defensive line as well, and especially with injuries, they can afford to move some guys around, and I don't think they're going to stay with that two-back set the entire season.
Yeah, it just seems to me that Rashawn would be the better guy to go, only because, like we saw last night, that he can bust a run. He can break one for 15 to 17 yards.
Yeah,
I don't ever see Raymond doing that.
No. I disagree. So I think that we have seen Raymond doing that. Raymond has a higher yards per average per carry. I think that Raymond has proven to be the better runner. I think that Rashawn, when he does break free, his fumbleitis shows. After he does bounce off a couple of tackles, he exposes himself to the linebackers who are flying in from the outside. So I think actually Rashawn Slamm may be the guy that they want to showcase and send elsewhere. Jason, what's your favorite sport?
Football.
It is football. I'll tell you what I have left. I have Purple Roses by Tim Cronin. Are you interested in that book?
Absolutely, but you have to promise me to burn that Green Bay thing on the show.
It's gone already. It's gone.
Good.
And someone already got that. Matthew from Villa Park. So, Jason, I'm going to send you the book on Northwestern Wildcats.
Thank you very much.
Hang on the phone line so that we can get your information here. And we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
You need to get to O'Hare or Midway. You need to get there comfortably, conveniently, and on time without parking hassle. You need Tri-State Coach and United Limo. From Wisconsin through Lake County, down to the south suburbs and northwest Indiana, Tri-State Coach and United Limo offer the easy and economical way to the airport. Relax and enjoy the trip with courteous and helpful drivers and new European-style luxury motor coaches. Consult your travel agent or call 1-800-248-TRIP.
Now there's a new way to prevent and treat diaper rash. Medicated Gold Bond Cornstarch Plus Baby Powder. Only Cornstarch Plus has triple action with cornstarch to absorb, kaolin to soothe, and zinc oxide to protect against wetness. New Gold Bond Cornstarch Plus. More than a baby powder. It's medication.
On this job, my feet sweat, smell, and itch so bad, nothing helps.
Introducing Gold Bond Medicated Foot Powder. 3 foot relievers in 1. Only Gold Bond absorbs moisture, controls odor with baking soda, and stops foot itch. New Gold Bond Medicated Foot Powder.
Finally, something that really helps.
The latest news,
You want the story, and CLTV gives you full details, anytime, 24 hours a day. No other local TV station provides more continuous coverage. See every development. Stay informed, live on CLTV. It's your source for timely news all over Chicagoland. From special announcements to sports coverage to weather watches and warnings, one place has your needs in mind. So depend on CLTV. Continuous coverage 24 hours a day.
Had I thrown out the first pitch at Kusinski, and let's say there were fans there, let's say Rob Gallus put on one of his special events, one of those real great promotions like, oh, I don't know, buy a Bulls skybox for the season and get 2 free tickets to a White Sox game. You know, something like that. So let's say that happened, hypothetically speaking, and there were fans at Kusinski. Well, I wouldn't even be recognized anyway because the people in the upper deck wouldn't even know who I was. I mean, at Wrigley, you can sit in the very top level, and, you know, there are even guys across the street, you know, on top of buildings across Waveland Avenue, sipping on their 15th Budweiser going, Steve Kerr's throwing out the first pitch. Got people in the first row in the upper deck, and who is that guy down there? Is that Opie from the Andy Griffith Show? Is that Ricky Schroeder from Silver Spoons? Who is that kid? The other reason that I'm glad, frankly, that I didn't set foot on the mound at Kusinski this year is, frankly, I didn't want to get traded to the Giants either.
Steve Kerr at Funny Money 97 last night, the Reinsdorf Roast benefiting child abuse prevention. We continue on the phone lines in Lincolnwood we go. Hi, Robert.
Hi, Peggy.
How are you, buddy?
I'm fine.
What's going on tonight?
You know me from the Steve Cochran Show.
I do. And you're one of the most opinionated youngsters I've ever heard on sports.
Thanks.
What do you have to say today?
I just wanted to say, what do you think Northwestern is going to be like in the season?
I think they have a really tough time right now because they have, 13 freshmen that they could actually be starting, and usually Gary Barnett doesn't start freshmen, maybe 1, maybe 2. I think they've started their rebuilding, and it'll be interesting to see how quickly the young guys can adapt. But it's a tough year. There were, 6 or 7 Big Ten teams that have been ranked in the top 25, so it's going to be a tough year for them.
Weird commercial.
I know, it was strange. But, you know, whatever.
And one more thing.
Yes, Robert.
On the White Sox of Reinsdorf, I would have roasted him and told him I wouldn't have wanted to go to Kusinski because then I would have been traded, and then he would have said, who is stupid enough that he, if I was a good pitcher, you know, he'd go, he'd say Greg Maddux. Who's stupid enough to think Greg Maddux would win with the Cy Young Award? And then maybe he would go and say that Ken Griffey Jr. is a horrible hitter and he can't make the Hall of Fame when he retires.
I love you, Robert. How old are you?
I'm 12.
Oh, you can't get married, can you, yet? Gosh, I love you. Robert, what's your favorite sport?
Do you have any autographs over there?
I don't have any autographs, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send you this book. Now, it's written by a tennis star who was a teenage phenomenon, but I got to tell you something. If it's any kid who's interested in sports, this is an awesome book to read because he talks about all the different things that happens to young athletes.
What other books do you have, though?
Robert.
Yeah, I just want to know because I don't like tennis that much.
All right, I know you don't need this one, but I told you it's not about tennis. I know you don't need this one because you're 12. Stress for Success. This one I'm keeping, all right? I'm going to keep this one. All right, how about Jack Buck? Nope, you don't want that one. Lou Boudreau. Nope, you don't want. And you got 2 women's basketball books. The Venus to the Hoop about the USA women's gold medal basketball team.
What's the other one about the Lou Boudreau?
Hey, why don't you take the Yosh Kawano hat? It's autographed.
Just give me the tennis star one.
Oh, Robert, man, you're killing me now. I used to think you were so cute, and now you're being picky. Which one do you want? You know what? I got something for you. Are you a Sox fan?
Yeah.
I'm going to send you to a Sox game. How about that?
My mom wants. I've been to too many Sox games. My mom doesn't want to. I've been about.
I'm leaving.
I'm kidding.
Robert, I'm giving you tickets.
Just give me the tennis one. It's okay.
Anybody want to do the show tonight? No, everyone's saying no. All right, I'm sending you the tennis book. I love you, Robert.
I love you too.
You're my buddy. Thank you. Hang on the phone lines. You know he's going to get this book, and you know what? He's not going to read it. He's not going to read it. There's no way. I'm keeping it. Thank you, Jeter. I think I will. Let's go to Scott in Buffalo Grove. Hi, Scott.
How you doing tonight?
Pretty good.
I have a question about Jason Bray. When is he supposed to come back, and what kind of impact do you think he'll have on the White Sox?
Well, I'll tell you something. I don't think that he is going to come back this year. They had to ask for an extended spring training rehab for him, in the minor league rehab, I should say, not spring training. He did not do that well in his last rehab stint, which was last Friday. He got knocked up a little bit. I don't know if there was pain when he threw, which he did not have the first 2 times. But let's not forget that this was extremely radical surgery that they had, basically rebuilding him. And I don't think it looks very good because they were hoping on an edge that they could get him back before the trading deadline. But when they had, when the agent asked for the extended rehab, I think that you know that there's a problem then. Scott, what's your favorite sport?
Baseball.
Baseball. Are you interested in the Jack Buck or the Lou Boudreau or the Yosh Kawano hat?
I'll take the Jack Buck book.
You got the Jack Buck book? All right, Scott, hang on the phone lines, and we are going to clear the phone lines when we come back. It is time to play Tuesday Trivia, courtesy of Chrysler Plymouth. We'll be right back.
What's the easiest way to tee off in Chicagoland? It's EasyLinks, the free, easy-to-use tee time network. One call to EasyLinks puts you in touch with numerous courses locally and nationally. Our live operators are standing by for your call 24 hours a day and can instantly find you tee times and course information like green fees, amenities, and more. EasyLinks is the easy way to get the confirmed tee time you want at the course you want without a hassle. Call toll-free 888-44-LINKS or book your time on the web at easylinksgolf.com.
Stories that make up Chicagoland in full detail. It's all on Around Chicagoland. Meet the people and witness the events that make this area come alive. From local entertainment to neighborhood profiles, Around Chicagoland looks at the individual flavor of this region. So before you make any weekend plans, turn to Around Chicagoland. Saturdays and Sundays only on CLTV.
Chrysler Plymouth Trivia Quiz.
Boy, I still can't get over Robert in Lincolnwood. He is a trip, I'll tell you something. He always calls the radio station, too. And he's interesting. He's a smart young kid, 12-year-old kid, and he's got a lot of opinions. Now it is time, though, for our Chrysler Plymouth Tuesday Trivia here on Sports Page. Most of you know how the game goes. We have 5 contestants. You get 5 questions. Hey, Bob, I didn't get to you yet, so hang on the phone line there for a second. You get 5 questions. Whoever gets the most correct will get $50 cash, courtesy of Chrysler Plymouth. All our runners-up will get $10 just for playing the game. Bob, now you're up first on trivia. Hi, Bob.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, we begin with baseball. Name the players to be named later in the Cubs-Mets deal.
Oh, God.
One of them is pitching tonight.
Not Batista, no.
That would be Mark Clark and Manny Alexander. Bob, I got to ask you to turn down the audio on your TV set. We're getting feedback already.
Sure.
All of our contestants, please do that so that we don't hear that ringing come back into the, like that. Exactly. All righty. In football, Bob? Bob?
Yes.
Okay, in football, what former Northwestern player was just cut by the Cowboys?
Who's that? Fitzgerald?
Very good. Pat Fitzgerald. What member of the Bulls was on the panel for the Jerry Reinsdorf roast? We just heard from him.
Was it Kerr?
Yes, it was Kerr. Bob, were you watching the show?
No, I just turned it on.
No. What member of the Avalanche could be a New York Ranger tomorrow?
Joe Sakic.
You got it, Joe Sakic. 3 out of 4 so far, Bob. And what was the top sporting event in the Tribune Top 150? Sunday Sports Edition.
That was the Bulls winning the 5th crown?
No. It was the Bears beating the Redskins 73-0. Bob, hang on those phone lines. 3 out of 5. We'll see how that holds up. Let's go to Berwyn. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Peggy.
We begin in baseball. Why was the Padres slugger Tony Gwynn in a Chicago hospital this week?
Kidney stone?
Very good. Who's the head football coach at U of I?
Lou Tepper.
Oh, Ron Turner. In basketball, name the 5-time NBA All-Star traded to the Pacers.
Chris Mullin.
Chris Mullin spent his entire career there. This is the tie. What Blackhawks defenseman went to Edmonton in the Steve Smith trade?
Blank.
Oh. Dave Manson. We bring that up because Steve Smith is expected to announce his retirement. Right. And finally, this is the tie, Kevin. Name the current Winston Cup money leader.
Jeff Gordon.
Very good. Cute little guy. Kevin, 3 is good enough to tie. Hang on those phone lines. We'll see how Frank in Chicago does. Hi, Frank.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. You need to tie 3 so far. Who hit the most career home runs without ever leading his league?
Frank Thomas.
St. Louis, Sam Musial. Name the veteran receiver released by the Bears.
Hayward Jeffries.
That's it, Haywood Jeffries. Name the Bulls guard who led all NBA guards in field goal percentage in the 90-91 regular season.
Oh, boy.
The Bulls guard.
Okay, it's, take a wild shot. Michael Jordan.
John Paxson.
I knew it.
By what name was the Blackhawk line of Bentley, Smith, and Mosienko known as?
I'll say the Go Get 'em line.
The Pony line. Frank, you go guess them. Frank, what rock and roll great will be honored at the Sox game this Friday? A moment of silence, the anniversary of his death this weekend.
Oh, Elvis.
Very good, Frank. Frank, it is good enough for a $10 gift certificate. Hang on those phone lines in so we can get all the pertinent information. Let's go out to Mike in Chicago. Mike, you got to at least get 3 correct.
All right, Peggy.
All right, who will the Cubs play on the upcoming Ryan Sandberg Day?
The Phillies.
Right, the team he came up with. Very good. What 2 teams do the Bears finish out the preseason against?
Oh, geez.
One this weekend. No, Jesus isn't one of them. Although my producer says his money is on Jesus.
I don't know if he can rush. I'm drawing a blank there.
Although pretty close, the Saints and the Cardinals.
Oh, yeah.
Who was the Bulls' first ever draft pick?
How about Bob Love?
How about Dave Shellhage of Purdue?
Oh, yeah, big name.
All right, one more time. What was the name of the Blackhawks before they moved to Chicago?
Name of the Blackhawks before they moved to Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
They've always been in Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Now the franchise.
No.
How about Orson Welles when he looks into...
Rosebuds?
Very good.
Get out.
The Portland Rosebuds. Mike, this is the tie. What is the second greatest sports moment according to the Tribune in their top 150?
Oh, God, I don't even read the Tribune.
Oh, Mike. You get gonged just for that. It's the Bears winning Super Bowl 20. Mike, you were a great contestant,
Hey,
though.
can I get the Yosh hat?
Of course you can.
All right.
You got it. I'll send you the hat, and you also get the $10 just for playing. Hang on the phone line so we can get the information. All right, let's go to our last contestant, Dave and Joliet. Hi, Dave.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. You got to get 3 now to tie.
All right.
In what stadium did Yankees catcher Thurman Munson play his last game?
Cleveland Stadium.
Milwaukee County Stadium. Who do the Bears play in their second game of the regular season?
The Vikings?
They host Minnesota. Very good. In 1990, who won the NBA's three-point shootout?
Hodges.
Craig Hodges. Very good. 2 out of 3 so far, Dave. Name the first Blackhawk voted to the All-Star game since fan balloting began.
Name the first Blackhawk. Bobby Hall.
Oh, Chris Chelios. You need this one to tie, Dave. What is the only long format TV sports show in Chicagoland? The only hour-long highlight show in Chicagoland on TV sports.
CLTV Sports.
Yeah! You got it. Unfortunately, and I should say my condolences to all of our friends at Sports Channel who lost their jobs when they decided to take the Sports Channel report off the air. We are all big fans of yours. We hope you all get jobs very soon. All right, we got a 3-way tie, you guys. This is how we go. Bob, Kevin, and Dave. I will give you one question. In that order, Bob, Kevin, then Dave, you give me a number. Whoever is closest to the answer will be our winner tonight. Here's the question, guys. How many of the Tribune's top 150 sports events involved the Bears? Bob?
8.
Kevin? Kevin, your guess?
6.
And Dave, what is your guess?
4.
4. Bob from Chicago, you're our winner. It was 16. Dave and Kevin, you guys did an excellent job tonight as well. Bob, you also, excellent job. You win. You get the courtesy of $50 cash courtesy of Chrysler.
Tickets too?
No, you know what? We're going to give the tickets to Dave and Kevin.
Okay, that's no problem.
All right, you got the $50. You can go buy tickets with that. Why don't we give White Sox tickets to Kevin and Dave because you guys were our runners-up tonight.
Hey, can I say hi to somebody?
Go ahead, Bob. The show is yours. Guess not. We cut you off. Thanks, though, Bob, for winning. And if you guys are interested in more trivia, you can check out the online trivia at chicago.digitalcity.com. And we will be right back to wrap things up here on Sports Page.
This has been the Chrysler Plymouth Trivia Quiz.
Kathy Douglas, I'll bet you feel better 80 pounds lighter.
My energy level is really good, and it better be because I have 2 small granddaughters I have to chase around full time. Before I started this program, my doctor had me tested for diabetes, but now he says as long as I stay on track, no retesting is necessary.
And that's just part of our quick weight loss story. Here's more. Lose all the weight you want. At National Weight Loss, new programs include medical setup and maintenance at just $9 per week. Call 1-800-677-THIN now.
My name is Marjorie. I'm 65 and on Medicare. I use insulin to control my diabetes, and I'm low on my diabetic testing supplies. I should be driving to the drugstore now, but I'm not. Medicare covers my supplies, and I could be filling out these forms now, but I'm not. I could be paying out of pocket for all my daily testing supplies, but I'm not. Thanks again. Liberty Medical does it all for me.
If you're on Medicare and use insulin to control your diabetes, call Liberty Medical. Get free home delivery of your diabetic testing supplies with the cost billed directly to Medicare. You'll have no upfront out-of-pocket expense, no inconvenient trips to the drugstore, no forms to file. Your satisfaction's guaranteed.
I could be just a little pressed for time and cash, but I'm not.
For more information on home delivery, call Liberty Medical at 1-800-897-3939. You'll save time and money.
With First Star's working capital line of credit, your small business can quickly access up to $50,000 because sometimes opportunities can't wait. Call 800-481-4544.
Some interesting bull stories in tomorrow's Chicago Tribune. Both Melissa Isaacson and Sam Smith have articles on Jerry Reinsdorf and the Bulls' contract negotiations. Plus, Phil Rogers writes about Tony Phillips. Apparently, he'll keep playing for now, although he was not in the lineup tonight. Also, golf writer Ed Sherman has a story on Tiger Woods and the upcoming PGA Championship. Finally, Andy Bagnato has a story on Michigan State head coach Nick Saban. He's turned down the pros to remain a Spartan. Those stories and more in Wednesday's Chicago Tribune. Our poll question this evening has to do with Tony Phillips. We asked you, do you think that he should be allowed to play 100%? Say no. Well, guess what? Terry Collins, the manager for the Angels, obviously agreed with you. He took Phillips out of the lineup tonight, although they stress he is eligible to play. The Disney Corporation, which owns the Angels, said they want Phillips to first meet with Major League Baseball doctors and the Players Association before they will reinstate him in the lineup and wait until he has his day in court as well. So that's exactly what's happening there. We do still have a couple more books to give away. Do we have anyone left on the phone line so we can see if anyone wants to get these books? Well, we're going to see. Oh, let me give you some updated scores. The White Sox lead Anaheim 8-4. This is good because they will keep that half-game lead on third place Milwaukee. Milwaukee beats Seattle 5-3. 8-4 now. Sox lead it behind two Albert Bell home runs. They're in the 8th inning at Comiskey Park. Now, also because Seattle lost to Milwaukee, Anaheim, if they lose to the White Sox, those two teams will stay tied atop the Western Division. Let's go to Carl in Mundelein. Hi, Carl. Or Tom, I'm sorry. Hi, Tom.
That's okay, Peggy.
I'm sorry about that. Are you interested in any of my final books here?
Hey, sure. If no one wants that Boudreaux book, I'll take it.
And you know what? I didn't want to tell anybody this, but guess what? It's an autographed copy.
Oh, that young boy is going to be very upset.
You are, I know. I know. Well, you know what? Nick and Lincolnwood, you can't get too picky, buddy. When you're giving away stuff, you don't start asking.
There you go.
Any comments you had to make tonight?
I'm sorry, what?
And did you have any comments you wanted to make tonight?
No, I was just wondering, I had a question for you. I'm always puzzled. Being a St. Louis Cardinal fan, sort of misplaced in the Chicago area, it amazes me that when the White Sox do poorly, nobody shows up at the park, but the Cubs do poorly and the place is packed, and I just can't figure that out.
Well, I think it just goes back to the fact that the Cubs have a universal appeal throughout the Midwest from being on the Superstation, and it's a very homey area. It's a very entertaining neighborhood. I mean, the arguments have all been heard before. I really think that it's very easy to get to, and I think that despite the fact that Comiskey Park is very safe, people are not used to having to travel to the south side on the L to get there, and if they haven't been there before, they're just not comfortable.
Okay.
Carl, we're going to send you this book here, courtesy Lou Boudreaux, and it's an autographed copy. I thank you very much for tuning in tonight. We have CLTV News coming your way up next. We'll have highlights of that Sox game against Anaheim. They now lead 8-4. I'm Peggy Kusinski. Thank you guys all so much for your phone calls. CLTV News is coming up next. Have a great night.
Get a head start on your home improvement projects with the Handyman Show on CLTV. Learn how to fix it, and fix it fast. And get the tips and tricks you need to make those do-it-yourself jobs easy and affordable. Watch the Handyman Show Saturday morning.